Hello friends, are you ready for math today? I hope you are. I think today's easy. Today we are going to, 9.7, compare decimals. Today I can compare decimals. This is really fun. I think math is fun though. Alright, about 18/100ths of a city park is covered by water, and about 2/10ths of the park is paved walkways. Is more of the park covered by water or paved walkways? So when I compare decimals, I need to make sure that they both look the same. It's kind of like fractions. How you can't do like 2/10ths plus 21/100ths. They both have to be in the same place. They both have to be in the hundreds. We like the hundreds. It's same as when you compare decimals. Okay, so if I look, I have 18/100ths and 20/10ths. First, I'm going to show you how you can compare them with a model. So 18/100ths would be a hundredths grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, there's another row. Okay, so I'm going to represent 18/100ths. That would be 10 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's 18/100ths. I'm going to compare it to 20/10ths. So 20/10ths, that means that I'm not making a hundredths grid, I'm making a tenths grid. 9. Okay, so I have 10, and I have 2 out of 10. This is 2/10ths. Okay, I can clearly see that out of this, 18 is less than 20, or 2/10ths, because the 18/100ths isn't completely all the way down, but my 20 is. Okay? So I can see that 20/10ths is less than 18/100ths. Okay? This one has more. Another way to do that without comparing with a model, so without using the grid, you write your decimals, so 18/100ths and 2/10ths, and I want to make them both in the hundredths place. So what would I need to do to this one to make it in the hundredths place? I'm just going to add a 0. Okay, so now I have 18/100ths and 20/100ths, and 20 is obviously bigger than 18, so 20/100ths is less than 18/100ths. Okay, we are going to continue with this. Okay, example number 1. Tim has 5/10ths. Sienna has 0 and 5 hundredths dollars. Who has more money? Okay, so I'm going to make a place value grid. Okay. So I put my ones here, my decimal, tenths, hundredths. Okay, this is going to be Tim, this is going to be Sienna. Tim has 0 and 5/10ths of dollars. So he has 0 and 5/10. Sienna has 0 and 5/100. 0 and 5/100. Who has more? Okay, to do this, I'm going to add a 0 in my hundreds place for Tim. Now I can see and since they're talking about money, this is 50 cents. He has 50 cents and Sienna has 5 cents. Well, which is more, 50 cents or 5 cents? Obviously, 50 cents, so it's Tim. So I have Tim and Sienna, so Tim has more money than Sienna. Okay? I guess I could also write that as 0 and 5 and 0 and 5/100, and 5/10 is greater than 5/100. Okay, let's try another one. Okay. Example number 2. This marker is going out. Okay, I have 1 and 3/10 compared to 0 and 6/10. Both of these markers are going out. Hopefully you can see the green. I'm gonna try it. Okay, I'm gonna represent this with grids. Okay, I have 1 and 3/10 and 6/10. So I have 1 whole, yes, that represents a whole, and 3/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 3 of them. Okay? Yeah, you can see the green. Okay, I'm going to compare that to 6/10. 8, 9, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I have 1 and 3/10 and 6/10. Which one is more? Well, 1 and 3/10 is greater than 6/10 because I have a hole here and 3/10 shaded, and then this one is just 3/10. There's no holes. Okay, so 1 and 3/10 is greater than 6/10. Okay, let's try example number 3. I like comparing them, making them look the same. I think I've said this before. So I'm going to make, if I have one in the hundredths place, I'm going to make them both in hundredths, and you'll see with this one. I have 0 and 4/10 compared to 0 and 40/10. I have 4/10 and 40/100. I think I said 4/10, but 40/100. Okay? I want them both to be in the hundredths place. So I'm going to take my 0 and 4. I have tenths, and I'm going to add a 0 to make it hundredths. That was a really big 0. 0. Okay? Now I can compare it to 0 and 40/100. Oh my goodness. They're the same. They are equal. Okay? Hopefully this is making sense. Let's try example number 4. I have 0 and 8/100 compared to 0 and 8/10. I can see here I'm in the hundredths place and here I'm in the tenths place. Okay, to make it in the hundredths place, because it goes 1/10 hundredths, I can add a 0. Now I'm in the hundredths. They're both in the same place. 8/100 and 80/100. Which one is more? 80 is bigger than 8. So 8 hundredths, or 8 hundredths is less than 80 hundredths. Okay? Let's try one more, and then you can do your practice problems. Example number 5. Let's do 0 and 7 tenths compared to 0 and 9 tenths. Well, they're both in the tenths, so I don't have to do anything. Which is bigger, 7 tenths or 9 tenths? 9 tenths is bigger. Okay, so I put my comparison sign towards the 9 tenths. Okay, here is a pause problem. Pause problem number 1. You're going to compare these two decimals. Okay, pause the video, try it yourself, but I'm going to keep going. You have 1 and 2 tenths compared to 1 and 37 hundredths. First step, make them both in the same place value. Okay, I have 1 and 2 tenths, but if I want to get into hundredths, I add a 0. Now I have 1 and 20 hundredths compared to 1 and 37 hundredths. Now I can see they both have 1s. Okay, so then I move over. 20 is bigger than 20 is less than 37, so I know that 1 and 37 hundredths is bigger. So my comparison sign is less than and is towards the 1 and 37 hundredths. Okay? Alright. Pause problem number 2. 3 and 10 hundredths compared to 3 and 100. Okay, pause the video. Try this one yourself. I'm going to keep going. I have 3 and 10 hundredths compared to 3 and 100. Well, they're both in the same place, so they both have 3's, so I need to move to the next. They both have 1 and a 0. Well, 1 is bigger than 0, but it's greater than. 10 is greater than 1. So 3 tenths is greater than 3 hundredths. 3 and 100. Okay? Hopefully that made sense, and we will practice this more in class. Bye!